G'day all, and welcome back to Freo Faithful Live for 2026. For our first taste of Freo footy for 2026, it's the Dockers and the Eagles in Coburn. I hope you are all well. I mean, it's just great to be back, isn't it? Like, Origin last week was a bit of fun. We got to see the Stars play, but this is where the true Freo fans turn out. We get to watch Chris Sherry in action. We get to watch Tobin Murray in action. We get to witness the beginning of a Neil Erasmus breakout season. This is what it's really about. Match sim against West Coast at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning. I tell you what, it was a struggle getting up this morning. It really was. Why Fremantle playing this early? I'm not sure. It's only reaching a max of 24 degrees today. But that is okay. I'm here. You are here. And that is all that matters. We've got a good little viewership here. 30 in on a Saturday morning. First stream of the year. Hello, Druzy. Jesus. Drews, can you just check something for me? Are we currently live in the YouTube Shorts feed? Because I've tried something new on the studio, and it looks like shit. Here regarding Tough Wake Up. Yeah, I think we might be live in the Shorts feed. No, we're not. I'm not sure what's happening. Do you prefer your toast cut into triangles or rectangles? Says Zach Fergo. New viewer here, Zach Fergo. I'm more of a rectangles man. I don't think I've ever gone down the triangles route, but hey, that could be me. Expect more of that type of content here for this morning's match simulation. We can get into the teams. The teams are quite exciting. Let me just get those up. Here is the team. So, I mean, they gave us a squad of 26, and I put it into a team, and I think this is how we're going to line up. Back six, Carl Warner, Alex Pearce, Brennan Cox, Jordan Clark, Heath Chapman, and our new man, Judd McPhee. In the midfield, on the wings, Neil Erasmus and Corey Wagner. And on ball, Caleb Strong, Andy Brayshaw, and Hayden Young. Luke Jackson in the ruck. And in the forward line, Shea Bolton, Pat Voss, Murphy Reed, Jay Amos, Josh Tracy, and Michael Frederick. And then on the bench, first look at Chris Sherry, Jago O'Meara, first look at Tobin Murray, first look at Mason Cox, Oscar McDonald, Nathan O'Driscoll, Brandon Walker, Matt Johnson. So, don't read too much into it. It's a match simulation squad, right? Few interesting things, though. Sherry selected over Dudley. Is that a teller for the pecking order? I'm not sure. Is it a teller for, you know, Sam Switkowski's not in the team, Chris Sherry's a pressure forward, like for like? Again, don't read too much into it. I'm not going to read too much into it. I just find it interesting that Isaiah Dudley isn't injured. He is not injured. And a guy like Chris Sherry and Tobin Murray have both been picked over him. Hey, I'm not saying anything, but that could be a thing. Let me just find the absentee list, because Luke Ryan's not in there, Sam Switkowski's not in there, Sean Darcy's obviously not in there, he's got that calf injury. For some reason, I'm just getting absolutely nothing here on the AFL website. Here we go. Yes, absentees. Sam Sturt, obviously, he's like our only long-term injury. Sean Darcy's got that calf. And then Hugh Davies, Luke Ryan, he had a shoulder scare last week at training. I can only imagine that's the reason he's out. Jeremy Sharp, Adam Swade. So, like, even those two are a bit interesting. Like, Swade hasn't really looked up to speed yet. But, like, Jeremy Sharp's had a really, really good preseason. So, I expect he'll play next week against Adelaide. But I can see Jeremy Sharp playing round one. Like, he's had a really good preseason, and we've seen him at the level before play well. Leon Kicker hasn't been picked. Charlie Nichols, Toby Wan, Cooper Simpson is dealing with a bit of a niggle still. Ollie Murphy, Josh Draper, Jaron Carr, Sam Switkowski. I'm not sure what's happening there. Ryder Luke, Bailey Banfield not picked, which is, I mean, Bailey Banfield not in a squad of 26 under Justin Longmuir is breathtaking. And then Aiden Riddle and Isaiah Dudley. We'll go through West Coast absentees. Liam Baker is out because they're managing his minutes after Origin. Starcevic is injured. And then Jimby, Brockman, Allen, Duggan, Graham, Hoff, Johnston, Gross, Barnett, Grego, Williams, Bailey Williams, Tyler Williams, Owies, Rodriguez, and Hutchinson are the absentees for West Coast. We're going to get a first look at Harry Schoenberg for West Coast. Finlay McRae. Who else? Willem Dersma, Josh Lindsay. Look, I said this way before the draft. I think Josh Lindsay is the best product out of Victoria in this draft. I think he's better than Willem Dersma, and I think we might see it today. I just think Josh Lindsay is that good a footballer. I was gutted when he went to West Coast. So yeah, I'm actually a little bit excited just to see a good footballer get to work. All right, what's the chat saying? A little rough this morning, Noah. Nah, I've been out for a coffee. I'm feeling all right. Only reason Duds probably isn't playing is Sherry just got signed and Murray. Yeah, it's a bit crazy though. Like Isaiah Dudley has that much talent. I would have thought. I mean, hey, I'm not really into it. I don't think Sam Switkowski might have been arrested. Isaiah Dudley might have been arrested. You know, these things happen. Brayshaw laid out with a hammy. Yeah, nah, that was a fib, mate. Don't start saying that sort of stuff. Do not start saying that sort of stuff. Shit joke, sorry. I'm just going onto Twitter just to double check. You're not. No, nothing's. Yeah, there's nothing about it laid out. I am just going to double check any late news that comes through. I doubt there'll be any Mitch Cleary on the Freo Eagles match sim, but hey, we may as well be prepared. No, there's nothing coming through. All right, well, we're ready to go. The game starts in 4 minutes, and we're still showing the replay of Port Adelaide versus Adelaide. This is the least important game of the year. No stress leaving at Dudley and Sharp. I don't know. I'm pretty keen to win this. Am I? No, I'm all right. I thought I was overexposed. Do we get smashed by Geelong come round one? To be honest, if we lose this game and we lose to Adelaide next week, that will not change my mindset whatsoever in terms of how I think we'll play in Geelong. Like, I'm pretty sure we smashed West Coast in their premiership year in preseason and we missed finals by a long way. So these preseason games are worthless. It is just about getting minutes in the legs, seeing some good individual signs from players we want to see signs from. And I mean, game style's a big one. I put out on the Instagram yesterday 5 things to look out for. 3 of the things we can't look out for because players aren't playing. Like one of them was Isaiah Dudley after a preseason. He's not playing. But one of them was ball movement speed. And it's such a lazy analysis from a lot of the competition, but it's like a genuine thing. Like, we need to see quicker ball movement. And just a different mindset. It's going to be interesting to see Clark and McVee work in tandem, what Judd McVee's mindset is like using the ball going forward. It's going to be interesting. That structure, you know, Sean Darcy's a chance to not play round one. They've said Sean Darcy should be playing next week against Adelaide. I expect on very limited minutes. But if Sean Darcy doesn't play round one, this will be an interesting look in what's our ruck structure going to be. I expect Jackson to play main ruck. I think he's built more into that as the preseason's gone. But hey, it'll be interesting. Sorry, just give me 2 secs. I would actually like to see Mason Cox and McVee in action. I haven't seen anything, so this is a first of Freo for me this year. Yeah, well, that's one thing I haven't taken into account. A lot of people just haven't seen our new guys. So that will be interesting, or it'll be exciting for heaps of people that, you know, haven't seen us at training or haven't seen much news about us over the off-season. A sort of first look in a match situation. Pride is on the line. Let's pump these a-holes. Look, Nick, I'm happy you're up and about for this preseason derby because I'm going to reciprocate that energy. Let's hope that doesn't happen again come round one. What did Dog say? Do we get... Oh, I've already read that. Imagine your list manager. Who are your go-to wingers? My go-to wingers at the moment are Neil Erasmus and Corey Wagner, but I wrote about this on the Instagram yesterday. I think guys like... where is it? Nathan O'Driscoll. Well, Sharp's not in the squad. But Walker, Frederick, McVee, Wagner, and Amos will all go out on the wing today. That's one thing I'm really excited about. Jai Amos on a wing. How's that going to work? Because he's not going to play full-time wing and push into contests and get involved in the game. That's not the type of wingman he's going to be. He's going to float forward. I'm just excited to see how it works because we only saw it in little patches, and he never even trained there when we were playing him there. It was sort of a mid-season fix to try and get him involved in the game. So now he's had a preseason there. Let's see how it works. Darcy Calf, damn, I had to see a generational ruckman play ruck. McVie and Clark are going to be crazy. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm also really excited to see this broadcast because these match sim broadcasts for the last few years down at Coburn have been horse shit. The KO broadcast is just terrible. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. I believe we've got Adam Papalier and Will Schofield on commentary. So, hey, let's hope the camera work doesn't glitch out like it seems to every year. Luke Jackson is a Cooper DT. Please spell out the name for me, mate. I'm not sure who that is. We don't speak about irrelevant players on this channel. Or players, playing for poverty clubs. That's just sort of not what we do here. We got 50 in, by the way. Thank you for all the support on the first stream of the year. No fan cams today because it's a match simulation, so apologies if you were hoping for fan cams. But we'll have fan cams. Will we? No, we will have fan cams next week. It will just be a bit later because I'll be hosting them and I'll be down in Mandurah, so I'll have to get home. But yeah, there will be fan cams next Saturday night, I believe. Game should be getting underway about now. It's 9:01. It'd be good if we cut to the game, Fox Footy. Are you worried about Darcy with the new ruck rules? Nah, because I've seen him train this preseason, and he's looked bloody brilliant. Here are the fellas. Big Mason Cox in the purple and white. So Chris Sherry is wearing number 45. Is this his permanent number? Is this his permanent number? So who's starting in the middle as well? Starting in the middle is Jackson, Sarong, Young, and Brayshaw. West Coast with the yellow jumper and blue shorts. See, this is unique. This is unique. Here we go. There are people there. There are people watching outside the fence. So they have put fencing up. I also see people on the grass bank, though. Have they, camped overnight? Here we go. Fremantle at West Coast. We're just getting straight into this out of nowhere. Matt Flynn versus Luke Jackson in the ruck. It is Sarong on Harley Reid. We are underway for the first match sim of the year. Jackson wins the hit out straight down to Hayden Young, who tries to get on top of it and does. This camera angle is atrocious. Sarong goes forward towards half forward. Tracy competing. And Bolton with the tackle in that new number 10. Thought that was Sunny for a second. Brayshaw chases it. Fumbles. Bit of a fumbly start from Freo. And now I'm going to have to try and work out who these West Coast players are. That was Lindsay, who I was hyping up before the game, and he's put in a pretty rubbish kick. Harley Reid trying to get it out. And that would be a ball up. There's a big anchor painted on the wing here at Coburn. Oh no, high tackle by Tracy. Hey mate, great to have you back for 2026. Really appreciate the channel and your awesome insight. Go Freo our year this year. Well, thank you Thomas for the support. I'm not saying if this is our year or not. I'm just going to let the season unfold. I'm done with expectation. Although, we probably should have some this year. Long down the line by the Eagles. Contest made by Shanahan. Handball to the outside to Robertson, who's had a bit of the pill early. Good spoil by Young. Now Jackson. That was Wagner, sorry. Young. Now to Sarong. The midfield getting involved early. Sarong with a really poor kick. To a low percentage contest. West Coast fumbly. And they'll go wide, and that's a good kick by the Eagles. Free stream. Well, if you want to watch the game, it is on KO and Foxtel. But if you don't have KO or Foxtel, you can follow it here. I like your mullet. It looks cool. Aren't you over 15? That's harsh. Is that a backhanded compliment? Into the 50 contest. Pearson Cox both there. Big bold Brennan Cox. And it's gone out of bounds. I cannot see the out of bounds line. Deliberate. The umpires are taking the piss. First game of the season. Who's going on? Oh. Scully says that he doesn't fancy Jamie Cripps from here. I do fancy Jamie Cripps from here. He's one of the all-time great shots at goal. G'day, Hoops Crew. Hope you're well. These camera angles are a bit grim, but that's what you expect from the KO Match in broadcast. Cripps from the pocket has missed, and West Coast take a 1-0 lead. That is their premiership one. I'm not sure where Scully and Paps could possibly be. They might be on a crane overlooking Coburn Arc. Here's Geordie Clark. Here we go. How are we going to move the ball? This determines how we move the ball for the whole year. We've gone long down the line. Good start. Erasmus is manhandled by 3 West Coast players. Ball up. So Corey Wagner around the ball here. Jackson wins the hit out. Corey Wagner gets rid of it back to McVee. McVee, under pressure, did well. Back to Jackson. And that's a hospital handball by Jackson. Hayden Young is steamrolled. Now West Coast are going to look to pounce over the top towards a 1-on-1. And Heath Chapman, I think it was Elliot Yeo with the mark. I cannot really see, but Yeo will have a shot at goal. Watched the match in Bunbury. It was hard to tell who some of the new players were, so it'll be good to see Murray and Sherry properly identified. Yeah, so Murray's 11, Sherry is 45. They look very different. Sherry's a very small and nippy pressure forward. Murray's got a bit of height and size about him. Yeo goes back, and he has sprayed that. 2-0. Keen to see Young and Reed lacing out Tracy and Voss today. Oh, mate. It's going to be beautiful. Who took that kick? Tom Cole takes the intercept. We're getting him destroyed early here. From 50, has a go. I'm not sure who that is. Willem Dersma from 50 says, thank you very much. And West Coast of the first goal of the game. Well, there you go. We've not had the greatest start, but that's okay. Whose kick was that, by the way, that went straight to Tom Cole? Was it Geordie Clark? I'm not too sure what's happened there. Panic stations for the whole 2026 season here. Absolute panic stations. Which way is the wind blowing? I'm going to say we are heavily against the breeze. Because Scully and Paps are banging on about the wind, and we are struggling to get out of here. It feels like we're playing in Launceston. Anyway. So Brayshaw, Johnson and Sarong at this centre bounce. Wagner on one wing. Can't see who's on the other. Jackson versus Flynn in the middle. Jackson straight out to Brayshaw. Jackson cleans up his mess. Handball away, but ends up with Harley Reid, who goes wide and finds Dersma, who's going to play out on a wing. Who's 18 for West Coast? Is that McCarthy? I thought that was Campbell Chesser. And yeah, West Coast absolutely have the breeze. Why are there so many people on the grass hill, by the way? Like, what is happening? Long, Waterman and Cox competing. High, and it'll be a Fremantle free kick. How many long down the lines till we start calling for Jailer's head? I give it the third quarter. Yeah, Paddy, we are. I made that point before the game. Like, let's not stress. We just need to look for the good signs. As Paddy Voss takes a great lead-up mark there. Pushing to halfback. It's Voss down the line looking for a target. It wasn't down the line, sorry. It was corridor to Jackson. Quick handball to Wagner. Great footy here by Freo. And Wagner inside 50 finds Tracy. That is some very nice quick footy. It's very hard to tell when we go into the corridor with this camera angle. But that was a great little handball. And Corey Wagner with a beautiful delivery to Tracy. Where's the security? Hey, I don't think anyone's stopping anyone from running on the ground. But we don't condone that if you are at Coburn Arc watching this. G'day, Josh. Well, Tracy from 50. He's trying to... Yeah, we do not have the breeze. Tracy's tried to work it. It stayed in. Amos Crumbs. Awful kick to Reed. Cleared away to a 1-on-1. Chapman has done very well, and he spoils it out of bounds. All right, yeah, we're going to struggle to score this quarter, and it is purely because of the breeze. This is a little Hands Oval preview for you. Oh, calm down, Scully. We are 7 minutes in, and he's not happy that old Jai hasn't gone onto the wing yet. Here's Geordie Clark. He is wrapped up. High tackle. A bit of a mirror free kick. Reed and Clark on each other. Interesting. Here is Jagger O'Meara going inside 50. Do we have any tall timber? Tracy drops a mark he should have taken. Murphy Reed, he's wrapped up. That'll be a ball up. Wind sweeping across towards the change rooms. Yeah, well, that Tracy set shot, he tried to work it that way. Jackson tried to get down to Bolton. Sarong hunting. Gets it out to Bolton. That'll be another high tackle by West Coast. And Caleb Sarong will get the free kick in front of goal this time. And can Sarong kick out first? He's had a very strong start to this game. Watching a game of footy for free is crazy. Yeah, I mean, you're outside a fence. Here we go. Sarong goes back, and that is one of the all-time sprays. Lord. We've got our first point of the season. It's not a majestical kick from old Caleb. Here's Marich with the kick out. Goes to Brock. Now on halfback with Kelly. Headband 7 makes me moist. Not when he's kicking like that. Along down the line. West Coast trying to use the breeze. Jackson dropped it. Chapman has not been pinked holding the ball. Brandon Walker, good to see him back out there. And that'll be a ball up. Now, Jackson's been in the ruck full time so far. Mason Cox not sent in there yet. Sarong gets it out to O'Meara, who finds Clark. Now onto Warner, who is getting forward. And Warner goes wide. That's the most obvious free kick of all time. Paddy Voss has been obliterated. And what can Voss do? He's going to go to Wagner, or is he going to try and distribute himself? Voss goes inside 50, over a few heads. That cannot be a mark. Amos tried to wrap him up. Now Marek. Hamish Davis coming out the back line. Gee, West Coast putting pressure on themselves. Mason Cox nearly barreled him. First time we've seen him out there. Is Mason Cox playing as a pressure forward? That's long. Oh, Carl Warner has dropped a sitter. And Jamie Cripps out the back. Walker chasing him. Cripps. Long. Inside 50. McDonald. And Cox took the mark. It's going to be a free kick, though, to Cooper Duff-Tytler. So can West Coast kick the second of the game? No, you can't watch it for free unless you head down to Coburn Arc and watch it behind the fence. It's just on Foxtel and KO, mate. So here's Cooper Duff-Tytler. Goes back to kick the Eagles second and his first, and he nails it. And they're making the most of the breeze. West Coast with the strong start. Shit. Season over. Do we call for JL's head? Do we drop Sarong? These questions all have to be asked. I think overreacting is the only reasonable thing to do in this situation. Duff-Tytler, I mean, that's the first time I've seen him, but looked pretty natural in that contest. I mean, he got a free kick, but Caleb wasn't overly happy. Here we go. Mason Cox in the ruck for the first time. Up against whoever that is. Could not tell you who's in the ruck for West Coast. Murphy Reed in the middle with Shea Bolton and Jagger O'Meara. Down, and the West Coast ruckman has followed up ahead of Mason Cox. Inside 50, and that's a lovely intercept mark by Alex Pearce. But West Coast with another inside 50. What can Pearce do? He's going to send it long. And there's a lead for Tracy, who takes the grab. Tracy, usually a great kick of the footy, and that is no exception. Jagger O'Meara has dropped an absolute sitter. Young, the tackle. That should be ball. Here's Tobin Murray. That should be high. It'll be a ball up. It was actually a good tackle by Marek. So that'll be exciting to see. Murphy Reid on ball again here around the stoppage. Cox wins the hit out. Erasmus the tackle. Murphy Reid the tackle this time. Another ball up. Mid's looking shaky. Well, let's not overreact. Cox. Good follow-up, Mason Cox. Erasmus. O'Meara hits up Amos on the lead. Lovely footy there. Started by the Mason Cox hit out. Amos inside 50. There's a lead in the pocket. Tracy has been very involved early, but couldn't clunk that one. And it will be a boundary throw in the forward pocket. Obviously, no last touch rule within the 50-metre arcs. I believe, by the way, the rules here are 25-minute quarters, no time on. I could be wrong, but that is what I've read. Mason Cox, another hit out for him. Reid putting on pressure. Shanahan on Pierce. And that's been touched and will go out of bounds. Can you explain what Wolfie Wednesdays are, or the day it drops is the day we know what it is? Hey, that's just a little teaser. You'll find out next week what Wolfie Wednesdays is. But yeah, I thought I'd put up a little teaser for the stream. That's been whacked down. I'll go out of bounds. But you'll see what it is next week. Can we build a roof over Coburn? Yeah. I was about to say that. Boundary throw-in. It's a bit of a tussle in the ruck. No one got the hit out. Jagger O'Meara has been busy early. Neil Erasmus sends it high towards a one-on-one. And Andy Brayshaw with a really good mark. Brayshaw takes it forward inside 50. A great delivery. And it is Josh Tracy yet again, who has been so involved. He probably doesn't back himself from here with this breeze. He's going to try and get a closer option. And Voss couldn't quite take it. But it was intelligent by Tracy to not take on that set shot. He's been everywhere so far, Josh Tracy. So it's Tobin Murray around the ball here, playing as a small forward from the looks of it, because Ryan Marek is on him. Again, no hit out. Cole gets rid of it. Towards the contest, McDonald and Pierce dominate aerially. Walker tackles Harley Reid, holding the ball. Hiagan arm free. And Harley Reid pinged by Brandon Walker. It'll be good to see how he plays this game and how he plays next week against Adelaide in the build-up to round one. That round one game in Geelong last year was his only full game of 2025. Harley Reid tearing through us there. Sorry, that was Dersma. They look quite similar. Cole ripped off Shea Bolton. And Cole goes on the inside. Kelly. Now corridor to Marek. McVee did very well. Tracy tried to barrel over whoever number 48 is. Now Paddy Voss getting back. Tripped maybe. McVee. Back with Pierce. Alex Pierce. Great composure. Finds Murphy Reid. And Reid goes out wide. And finds Voss, who's been quite high so far. Reid to Brayshaw. Back to Murphy Reid, who's racking up the pill here. And Reid goes inside 50. Murphy Reid is having a game so far. He looks a bit sore, Murphy. So it's mark here for Jai Amos. Is Bruce okay? Jeez. Murphy Reid, though, is having a start. So what can Jai Amos do from here? Jai Amos goes back. 45 out. And he slots the Dockers first. That is a beautiful strike by Jai Amos. And we are on the board in 2026. Jai Amos. Lovely strike. All of our forwards have started well. Pat Voss has played very, very high. Josh Tracy's been dangerous around the 50. Mason Cox has won probably every ruck contest he's been in. Luke Jackson's been strong in the ruck. And Jai Amos has kicked out first. So a lot to like about the tools. Brennan Cox and Alex Pearce won a couple contests. But we take that. Who are the Eagles' goal scorers? It has been Cooper Duff-Tyler and Willem Dersma, the 2 goal scorers so far. They're 2 top picks. Here's Cox versus Flynn in the ruck. Flynn wins the hit out. Down. Kelly's done well to find. That wasn't Waterman on ball, was it? No. Who is that? Can't even see. Gee, that wind is barreling it inside 50 for West Coast. Cox. That's Brennan. Gets the handball away. McDonald back to Walker, who's fumbly. Good pressure by Yo. That will be... I can't even see the boundary line. Go out of bounds, though. Cox wins the hit out. Fremantle. O'Meara over the top. Brayshaw gets the handball away. Hayden Young couldn't get it on the boot. Good pressure by the Eagles. Young out to McVeigh, who's looked composed so far. Tries to use his left. Probably the worst kick of his Fremantle career to date. Eagles inside 50. Open option is Noah Long. By the way, the faithful Q. This is new. What position do you prefer Luke Jackson in? Forward, back, ruck or midfield? Where do you want to see Luke Jackson play in 2026 primarily? We've got 50 in. I want to see at least 20 people respond to that. 50 out. Noah Long uses the breeze to his advantage, and West Coast have their third. The Eagles have made the strongest start to this one. I argue Fremantle have had the ball in their hands for longer, but they are using that breeze to their advantage, which I will continue to bring up. I will not admit that West Coast are outplaying us. Season over. Yeah, Oscar, I reckon you are spot on. Season is over. I'd say a mixture of forward and inside mid. What? No ruck. He's a generational ruckman, as Drew said before. I want to see Dogger primarily in the ruck with a probably ruck forward mid, but I'd like to see him play all of them in a game. We're going to see Jackson back in the ruck here. At his feet are Andy Brayshaw, Matt Johnson, and cannot see the other person. Hayden Young. Flynn wins the hit out. Brayshaw, good pressure on Kelly. Brayshaw's been our strongest mid to start. Kelly got rid of it. Johnson to Jackson. Jackson finds Sarong. The KO feed's cutting out as expected. Out to Wagner here. Wagner, great turn. Goes inside 50 or towards half forward. It's sat up with the wind. Good chase at ground level by Murray. And that's a high tackle by Luke Jackson. Dockers don't have any pride. Yeah, agreed, mate. We are all over the place. Call off the season. Tom Cole, that ball has hit his shin. Cox, Kelly. Now, on the inside, good intercept by Matt Johnson, who's been good to start this one. Back to Brennan Cox. Handball to Jackson. Bit of a hospital handball. Found Brayshaw. Scooping handball to Clark. Now, that's an awful handball by Clark. Over the head of Wagner. Surely Clark's not had his best start. And that ball is going to... Surely not. West Coast have kicked a goal from about 80 metres out. Well, we couldn't do much about that. What are we supposed to do about that? Oh, my God. Yeah, he has been in the midfield majority of this season. And he definitely will play midfield. And I'd like to see him on ball a little bit. But I still prefer him in the ruck. Yes, camera angle is rough. Who has kicked that goal from 80 metres out? That wind is just... Oh, my God. Jeez. Here we go. We've missed the centre bounce because KO didn't show it. Johnson out of the middle, forward. And Shea Bolton's been done for a hold. Sack J. Season's over. Matt Johnson has a higher ceiling than Neil Erasmus, unpopular opinion. Hey, I'm not going to say that's wrong. I mean, I disagree with you. But Matt Johnson has all of the tools to be a very, very good AFL footballer. At the end of the day, I just hope they are both very good footballers. I think Matt Johnson needs to become an elite role player for us to be a very good team. We need someone like that. Just a big body to sacrifice himself to let our superstars get to work. And I think Matt Johnson can be brilliant at that. Harley Reid darting down the wing. Goes on to the left. He's been cleaned up late by McVie. Well, that's harsh. I don't think McVie cleaned him up, as per se. I thought it was a light tap and Harley Reid just dived. Sorry, who's lost their boot and the socks been ripped in half? It's Harley Reid. Well, all right. West Coast are having set shots from about 65 out here because there is a cyclone going towards the Eagles goals. I'm not sure who number 46 is. Jack Newton. Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton discovers gravity and he says thank you very much. West Coast are their 5th of the game. Oh, write that on a t-shirt. Did Isaac Newton discover gravity? That was him, wasn't it? It wasn't Einstein. Are you worried for the season if we lose this? I mentioned this before the game. I could not care less what the result of this game is. I've seen some good signs from our players so far. I'm not sure if you've seen the game so far, but the breeze going towards the West Coast goals is like nothing we will play in this year. Unless Hands Oval is like this, the breeze is absurd. So no, I'm not too worried. I expect we'll probably have a similar scoreline our way in the second quarter. Unless the breeze decides to do a full 180. If we lose to Adelaide, season over. Yeah. I'm really happy we've got some level heads in the chat at the moment. This is exactly what we should be doing as a fan base. Matt Flynn wins that hit out. Tell you what, they're getting on top of us in the contest. West Coast, another inside 50 here. Geordie Clark chasing, and Alex Pearce takes it out. We're playing awful. All right. We have not been that bad. I think we need to adjust a few things in the middle. And that's the siren. So, first quarter down. We're playing 25 minutes, no time on. And West Coast have a 5-2-32 lead to our 1-1-7. They lead by 25 points here at the quarter. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Let's hope we just replicate what the Eagles have done there in the second quarter. I'm just going to chuck up an update on the Instagram at Freo Faithful on Instagram, Freo.Faithful. It's not a bad start. We've just got to be a bit more focused, made some silly errors. Yeah, if you have not watched this game and you've just seen the score, you would be catastrophizing it. When, at the end of the day, it just really has not been that bad. Alright. What's the score? 1-1-7. To West Coast. Is it 5-32? First quarter went pretty much as expected. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Hey, Duff Tyler and Dersman kicked a couple of nice goals to start. You'd be happy with that. I'm only joking with you. Definitely need to fix the middle. But Cox rocking pretty good. Yeah, Mason Cox had a good start in the ruck. He's won about every hit out. I think he's only lost one. The season might be over before it's even begun. We've had majority of the field position. We'll be back only practicing that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have had majority of the ball, majority of the field position. But there is Cyclone Tracy, funnily enough, blowing against us. So, hey, what can you do? Just give me a second, fellas. All right. Can we explain Wolfie Wednesdays? It'll be explained to you next week. It's just a bit of a teaser. Um, all I can tell you is that it'll be on Wednesdays. I think you can probably gather that out of the name. Shocked that West Coast are winning at quarter time. Crazy. Yeah, I reckon the season's over, eh? Hashtag cancelled the season. Which is a good thing because my goat being injured would make the season a write-off. Is this Murphy Reed? Murphy did look a bit sore there. I'm just going to quickly search up his name on Twitter. Just to double check nothing's happened to him. Yeah, nothing. He's alright. Righto. Brucey playing 8 midfield minutes. I'd say Bruce has probably played 50-50 forward mid, and he's looked very good in the midfield. He's linked up very well. I'd say he'd be one of our top possession getters. He's had a very good start. And he got a goal assist for our only goal, as expected. The wind is destroying our Tracy. Yeah, well, look, Tracy's going to make the Cyclone his own this second quarter. Let's hope we just... I mean, first of all, we need to get on top of the midfield, because for some reason, Tim Kelly's tearing us a new one. And Harley Reid's played very well. I'll give him credit. Luke Jackson should play forward. Well, Dog has been very good around the ball so far. Been good in the ruck. So I'm pretty happy with the role he's playing. Wrap up the season. Yeah, I know. Hey, look. Bozzy. I reckon the season might be over. I got 64 in chat, by the way. Thank you to everyone who's joined the watch party. Already gained about 15 new subscribers this stream, so big shout out to everyone who's shown support to begin 2026. Would you change anything for the second quarter? Move anyone around? Not really. Yeah, I wouldn't really change anything, to be honest. I don't think Chris Sherry's seen the field yet, so I'm sure he'll get a go in the second quarter, maybe. Or maybe in the second half. We'll see when he gets on. I mean, Tracy, I think, has played about every minute so far. Fremantle come back and win by 1 point. That would be huge. I mean, we'll hopefully have the breeze in the last quarter, so we'll see how that goes. Should I try and put Bruce in my midfield? Yeah, he's only a forward. Well, we only played forward last season, so that's what they base it off. Here we go, second quarter at Coburn Arc. Jackson vs Flynn in the ruck. Brayshaw, Sarong, and Johnson in the middle for Fremantle. Reed, Yo, and McCarthy for West Coast. We're back underway in the second quarter. Jackson wins the hit out. Bounces right into the path of Sarong and Fremantle. I mean, Sarong's kicking's been awful to start. Ends up with Murphy Reid, a half forward. Reed over the top to O'Meara. And we've got the breeze already here. That ball is forcing its way inside 50. Dersman's done well for the Eagles. Around the corner, Lindsay, Mr. Silky ball user, who I was hyping up, has coughed it straight up to Jackson. And here's Jackson. He's going to head inside 50, and he's going to lower the eyes nearly. Ends up with Tracy. Handball to O'Meara. Doesn't go around the body. Ends up with Sarong, who goes on the left. Ball's barreling, and it's a good intercept mark by whoever that is. What can the Eagles do here? Long ball wobbling. Jackson struggled to read it. Chapman behind the ball trying to clean up. Goes out of bounds. My favourite all-time Docker was Matthew Pavlich. Well, you got the Samful logo, so may as well back the South Aussie. Rest in peace, Will Brody. Yeah, in fact, someone asked what change I would make. I'd bring on Will Brody in this second quarter. Where is Will Brody? He would fix our midfield right now. Johnson, Clark, Murphy Reid. He is just racking up the pill. Brayshaw, ball up. Hi, UCAT. It's Juddy. This is my new account. Oh, jeez. Blast from the past. Good to see you. Brayshaw, the wrap-up, ball up. Why is Tim Kelly cooking this year? Tim Kelly redemption year would be crazy. Jackson down to the deck. Brayshaw, O'Meara fighting. He's been in and around so far. Flynn's tackled. How did Will Brody go yesterday? He had 8 disposals. So dominated. Jackson. I'm not sure what his time on ground was. I actually want to pick Will Brody in my fantasy team. So I do hope he plays well this preseason. Ball up here. Flynn down. Dersma tackled by O'Meara. Ball up. Are we playing faster or still the slow game? No, we've been quicker. It's been difficult so far because the breeze has been so against us. But we've had a couple good chains. Corey Wagner's delivered a few good inside 50s. Murphy Reed's done the same. They've been our main guys going inside. Sarong over the top. Brandon Walker. Look at that from Brandon Walker. Inside 50. Mark should have been taken. Paddy Voss steamrolling around the body. Voss kicks his first. And Paddy Voss is on a run. And he's got our second. Got the chest out. And he's enjoying it. Patrick Voss. How good was that by Brandon Walker? I know. Darting through the middle. Honestly, I haven't watched Brandon Walker play an actual game in that long. Like, I've seen him train. He's had a good preseason, but I forget how quick he is. He hasn't been in that many attacking positions like that when he's been in the team. So I'm not sure if that's a new directive for Walker to get more up the ground, but I'd love it if we utilise his speed. And nice foot skills as well. He essentially laced up Voss on the chest there, and the West Coast defender just got a good fist in. So back in the middle here, Fremantle 2-1-13 to West Coast 5-2-32. We've got the first goal of the second quarter. Jackson in the middle. Sarong, Brayshaw, and Johnson at his feet. Matt Flynn taps it in the direction of Kelly. This camera work is atrocious. Sarong the tackle. Out to Yo. Now Matt Flynn on the run. From 55. Flynn inside 50. Mark's not taken. Brandon Walker again. Look at Walker go. What a kick by Walker to Murphy Reed. He's being held. Umpire. Kelly. The other way with the left. And Geordie Clark. The intercepts. Clark. Out wide. Frederick. Couldn't take it. Front on contact not given. Wagner comes for support. Now Yo. Inside 50 by Elliott. Yo. Great delivery. Could be 50. But Mark's taken by Shanahan. Let's hope and pray Walker doesn't do a shot around too. I'd love to get a year out of Walks. Yeah, exactly right, Oscar. I've got Brody in my fantasy team. This is a good decision. Well, watch the preseason game next week, and we'll see how he goes. How am I watching? It's on KO and Foxtel, mate. Bergman or McCarthy? I'd be going McCarthy, because I think Bergman might play a bit of back still, and he doesn't really score from the back line. Shanahan goes back across the face, struggling with that breeze, and it'll be the Hines. Out to 20 points, the margin. Down the line. Going long. Jordan Clark, very good tackle. We are noticeably trying to use it quicker, but we've done this in preseason before, so... Down at ground level. Corey Wagner's had a really good game. Sarong to Bolton. Over the top in the Sarong direction. Brayshaw taps it onto Sarong. Caleb Sarong running. He's going to get steamrolled here. It's a really good tackle by Tom McCarthy. And there's a bit of biff here. Ball up. Down by Jackson to Murphy Reed. And that's got it out. Cripps has done well. Reed loses it for West Coast. That's Harley. Shea Bolton the tackle. And out of bounds. Will Schofield sounds like he's been on a 6-day hangover. Funny you say that, because I think he's about 3 months off alcohol. Based off my Shelter Footy cast listening. Here we go. Boundary throw-in, just on top of the 50. Jackson wins the hit out. Down to Neil Erasmus, who I have not seen yet. I think that's the first time he's been on the deck. Long inside 50. And out the back. It's taken by Jai Amos, I believe, who's going to go back for goal number 2. Go on, Nev. And this is for Freo to kick the opening 2 of the second quarter. Amos around the corner. Slots it. And we've got our third of the game. And Jai Amos has his second. It's the tall timber kicking the goals for Fremantle here. 3-1-19 to 5-3-33. After listening to your commentary, because I can't stand Will Schofield. Nah, I think Scully's quite good. I mean, I've maybe got a bit of bias because I'm such a heavy backchat listener. So I just enjoy hearing him speak football. But yeah. It's also just better. Thank you, Alex. I mean, it helps. I've probably got a bit of Freo bias against me. Amos hasn't bulked up. I believe he's slimmed down a little bit so he can cover more ground because he just looked so sluggish last year. But good promising signs here. Erasmus got his first hands on that. Caleb Sarong working hard to track that ball. Goes on his left to find Luke Jackson, who fumbles. Gets the handball to Hayden Young, who's being chased down. That's holding the ball. That wasn't Harley Reid. That was number 40. Again, I'm struggling to find out who these West Coast players are. Oh, it was Dev Robertson. Righto, he's in my fantasy team, so I probably should be looking out for him. Here's Harley Reid. Corey Wagner putting some pressure on him. Turned him. Harley Reid long down the line. Cox with a good spoil. The new bald Brennan Cox. I was cheering on Jake Waterman passionately last week. So, good to see him back on the opposition. Jackson down to the deck. Jordan Clark. Handball. Back to Corey Wagner, who's been busy. Now Neil Erasmus, who goes in the Jackson and Tracy direction. Jackson's been absolutely decked. That'll be his free kick. Harry Edwards. Jeez, I'm learning these players on the go. I know who Harry Edwards is. I just didn't know he wore 42. Risky kick. Ends up with Erasmus. As Jackson heads to the interchange. Coming on for him will be Mason Cox. Erasmus down the line finds Shea Bolton. Sarong was running on. Didn't go to him. Bolton inside 50. And it's a good high percentage kick. Paddy Voss. Look at Paddy Voss go. Goes central. The KO coverage glitched. Johnson fumbled out of bounds. Boundary throw in the forward pocket. But Voss didn't have too many options. I probably would have liked to see him go for goal there. Prime Jai's back. Yes, sir. Boundary throw in. Handball away. Marek out of the back line. Yo, handball off to Kelly. And that goes wide to Waterman. And that's well taken. Carl Warner. He's probably playing a bit taller today with Luke Ryan out. And I actually mentioned that on the podcast during the week. I'd like to see Carl Warner in that type of role. Geordie Clark with a bit of a wobbler across to Heath Chapman. Didn't actually make it. Geordie Clark has not had an all-Australian start to this game, it's fair to say. McDonald on the inside to Murphy Reid, who's pushed to half-back here. He's playing on Dev Robertson, so I assume he's on ball at the moment. Murphy Reid goes corridor. What a kick by Reid to McDonald. He goes the handball to Clark. He sees Hayden Young ahead of him. Young goes wide to Brennan Cox. He's going to look inside, and Cox sees the open Jai Amos again, and Jai Amos has dropped an absolute sitter, and he would have been going back for a third goal if he took that. Yeah, Raz is certified best 23 to begin the season at least. Carl Warner needs to clean up his kick. Boundary throw in. Tobin Murray. All the way back to Geordie Clark. Goes inside 50. Nearly Voss, who was pushed. Sarong around the body with the left foot. And mark is taken just above the goal square by Rhett Bazzo. But Fremantle certainly have had the majority of field position for this game. Just under 14 minutes to play in this first half. West Coast by 14. Longed by Bazzo. To the contest, Mason Cox flew over his head. Ends up with Chapman. Now McVee, who's composed and goes backwards with Warner. Warner takes a bounce. Through the middle of the deck. Warner with a tumble inside 50. Unpredictable. Clark. That wasn't Clark. That was Tracy. Now Tobin Murray. What can Murray do? And he's going to go backwards. A very sensible option. Murray finds Matt Johnson, who goes to Murphy Reed. And Murphy Reed's going to go back for a set shot to make this an 8-point game. I'd say Murphy Reed's been best on ground so far. He has been everywhere. Love the giant anchor on the field is a great touch. Here we go. Murphy Reed goes back for his first goal. Be interested to see his stats after this game. Reed from 45 has slotted his first goal. Fremantle have their fourth. They've kicked the first three, the only three of this second quarter, making the most of the breeze. As I mentioned at quarter time, I expected us to return with a 5-goal quarter of our own, and looks like that's what we're going to do as he comes straight off the ground. 4-1-25 to 5-3-33. Dockers have fought back well. This Flanklin bloke has been getting in the rage bait territory this preseason in our comment sections. I'm taking it so seriously, mate. I am my entire weekend rides on this game. If we lose, I'm just not leaving the house. I will be filthy. Here we go. Mason Cox in the ruck here. Brayshaw, Young, and O'Meara at his feet. Brayshaw with O'Meara going forward. And mark is taken by Marek. Now go. Oh, that is a horrific kick. And it's going to be intercepted nearly by Pat Voss. Number 38 did well. Handball. Now on to Josh Lindsay. And that is a brilliant kick by Lindsay. Finds, is that Sam Allen? I'm guessing these players now. Inside 50 for West Coast. Good spoil. And goes out of bounds. Long ball. Mason Cox. Strong in the ruck so far. Brayshaw the handball. Wagner's there. Tapped down by West Coast. Is that a high tackle by Sarong? No, it's a good tackle. And that's the new rule. So, yeah, Adam Papali has mentioned it. That is the new rule. So that's the shrug. He's attempted to shrug Sarong off. And he's been pinged for holding the ball. I like that new rule. Maybe because it's Freo who got the free kick. But no, I like it. He's attempted to duck. And the umpires have not rewarded it. Michael Frederick. I wonder how long that rule will last in the season until the umpires forget about it. O'Meara finds Young on the inside to Wagner. $60 in chat. Appreciate you all being here this morning. It's not often we're in the middle of a second quarter at 9:49 in the morning. Fisted down. And Edwards has just tumbled out a chaos ball to Archer Reed. Elliot Yeo goes long towards a 1-on-1. The breeze is going to push it wide towards the water slides at Coburn Arc. Waterman taps it into Flynn. Back to Waterman from the pocket. About 45 out. Centers it right into the path of Heath Chapman. And now Chapman is going to look to quickly go corridor. Chapman's bitten that off brilliantly to O'Meara. Now Andy Brayshaw. That is an absolute floater. Sarong and Brayshaw's kicking have been questionable so far. Voss finds Sarong. And Sarong, questionable. Amos, back to Sarong. Goes inside 50. And, geez. Yeah, Caleb Sarong has missed about every kick he's taken so far. Ball up. Jackson down. Now around the corner. And Mason Cox under it. Couldn't take the mark. Young has been tunneled. Got his legs taken out. I was going to say, Hayden Young will get a set shot here. Look, Elliot Yeo being tough, but he can't be rewarded for, you know, trying to get head contact. Hayden Young with the free kick to kick Fremantle's 4th straight goal. Let's make this a 2-point game. Young from 45 out. And it's across the face. Hasn't made the distance and hasn't registered a score. It's actually a mark taken by the West Coast Eagles. Now Marek. Yeah, Coxie's been alright so far. I mean, he's not doing much around the ground, but he's won about every ruck contest he's been in. Kelly being chased down. Now Yo and Fremantle's forward pressure very good here. No Switkowski, so it's fair to say our pressure won't be at the maximum, but gee, Tobin Murray has been trying to get involved on that element of his game. Walker goes corridor. Brandon Walker's ball usage has been so good. Michael Frederick out wide to Matt Johnson, who's going to have a run. Here goes Johnson. He might need to take a bounce. Goes inside 50. And deep forward is Luke Jackson, who takes the mark at the top of the goal square. And Dogger will go back, and he will slot Fremantle's 4th straight goal. How good was that by Matty J? I've never called him Matty J in my life, and I'm never going to again. I apologise. Didn't realise how bad that would sound. Walker's looked amazing. So Jackson will slot this. And Fremantle have had a very good second quarter here. We had a good first quarter too. It was just impossible to score. By the way, I'm fully expecting us to concede 5 straight in the 3rd quarter. This might just be how the game at Hands Oval is. Yeah. Mate, it's going to be very hard to leave Walker out. He's just a bloody talented footballer. Nah, Jono's been good so far, Adrian. I thought. Here we go. Back in the middle. Jackson wins the hit out after kicking the goal. Matt Flynn. Good pressure by Shea Bolton. Erasmus getting low. Well done. Harley Reid, who just has no chance from 60. He's chucking a chaos ball, which is probably not the wrong call. And there is a mark taken. No, umpire says touched by Brennan Cox, and it'll be a ball up. Walker in the middle. Yo, around the corner, straight off the ball up, and Elliot Yo has managed to put that on the full from 15 metres out. Yeah, I think Johnny's been good so far, Dill. We are moving fast. I mean, we can't move fast every time. That's an unrealistic sort of expectation, but whenever we can, we have been. Brennan Cox looks like such a settled key defender with that bald head. He just looks right. I can't explain it. He has been good, big Baldy. Maybe that's how we differentiate the Coxes. Mason and Baldy. That can't be his nickname. Luke Jackson. Good mark. He is just been everywhere so far. Inside 50. Vost down to the deck. Erasmus around the corner. From about 45 out. Hooks it and it'll be a behind by Erasmus with about 4 minutes to play here in the second term. 1 point game. Brennan Cox has evolved. Sent along by Lindsay. Jackson, the spoil, down to Bolton. Now with Johnson. And here's Jackson. All the way back with Alex Pearce. And he's going to go corridor with Brandon Walker. Out onto the wing with McDonald. And now Andy Brayshaw with the mark. What can Brayshaw do? I think that's Tobin Murray at centre-half forward. Judd McVee's offering himself. Instead goes over inside 50. Out the back. Mark wasn't given. Bazzo. And Cole's under pressure from Hayden Young. High ball. Flying at it was O'Meara, who made a great contest. Tracy at ground level. All the way back to Warner, who goes inside 50. And Warner delivers it into the forward pocket with Hayden Young, who's already kicked one. And he's been looking dangerous in the forward 50. Let's just hope this isn't 2023 Nat 5 full forward areas. So Hayden Young to give Fremantle the lead. To give us our 5th straight goal. Hayden Young goes back from the pocket. And misses to the right. And we've got a tie game here at Coburn Arc. Off the top. Dersma. Now down the line. Harley Reid. Probably held by Chapman. Didn't give it. Brayshaw, Voss, Bolton. Inside 50. Strong by Tracy, who gives the handball to Hayden Young, who's going to try and get in for his second, but the ball sort of bounced everywhere but into the path of Hayden Young. A hold not given again. West Coast players not over the moon about it. Boundary throw with just under 2 minutes to play. Here in the Fremantle forward pocket. I thought Youngie kicked a goal. Did he not? Oh, no, he didn't. Sorry. He didn't make the distance. I apologise. I keep thinking he's kicked one. Here's Jackson down to the deck. Kelly. Good tackle, Murphy Reid. Out of bounds. Here we go. Top of the 50. Jackson down. Flynn. Jackson. Kelly. Fires it. Now Waterman. Robertson. Over the head. And Cripps keeps it alive. Brennan Cox chasing him. Cripps tears off him. Goes inside 50. And it's a good intercept mark by Heath Chapman. Chappie's been quite aggressive with his ball usage so far. He sent a high one onto the wing here, though. Sees Tracy. A big spoil over the top by Harry Edwards, sorry. Oh, that Fife game, yeah. Bloody niche pool, but if you were there, you know. Jackson the hit out. Kelly fumbles. Wagner. We've got 10 seconds to go in the second term. Or 0 seconds. We've got a tie game here at halftime. 5-3-33 apiece. West Coast, I believe, scored... What did they score that quarter? They scored 1 point that quarter. We won that term 26-1. So a good second quarter. And we have a tied game. Let's get on the Instagram here quickly. Oh. Give us 2 secs and I'll get onto the chat. Good to see footy back. I unfortunately can't watch the game. Are most boys playing today? So Dudley's out, Switkowski's out, Luke Ryan's out, Banfield's not playing, Sharp's not playing. So, but we've got some new guys in there. Murray has been playing. I mean, O'Driscoll and Sherry haven't seen the field yet, but Mason Cox is in there, McVee's in there. So, yeah, most boys are playing. The only guy ruled out because of injury is Sean Darcy. And then Luke Ryan's got a minor little shoulder thing, but that's barely even an injury. It's more management. Let me chuck this up. I'm not convinced Carl Warner has locked a spot in the team. I think he's around a 23rd, 25th best player. I'm not against that opinion. I don't think anyone sees Carl Warner and thinks he's a superstar, but I think he's just an invaluable role player. So I do think he's a best 23 player, but yeah, I think it would be a bit far to say he's a lock. Let's chuck this up on the Freo Faithful Instagram here. Give me a sec here. I'm just chucking the score up on the Instagram. Righto. Where's Swady? I'm not sure why Swade's not been picked, to be honest. I couldn't tell you. He struggled to hit the ground running this preseason, to be honest. He's probably the one that's struggled the most to adapt to AFL speed out of our draftees. Out of, like, our draftees, like, that have a chance at playing. But yeah, no, he'll turn out all right. In the UK at the moment, thank you for your coverage. Looking forward to getting back to Perth and the upcoming season. Well, glad you're enjoying, Tez. Thanks for the support. It's a 26-man squad for today. It is indeed. Why are they playing so early? Probably just to avoid the hot weather. Even though it's not that hot today. It's only a max of 23. The red and the white. Down by night. Banner high. The Sydney song is just elite. I probably shouldn't be on a Freo fan channel singing it, but who cares anymore? Cheers for the watch party. Haven't activated KO for the year yet. Well, yeah, I mean, as much money as you can save is probably the better. Probably for the better. Anyway, let's recap that first half. Tell me who you think have been our strongest players so far. I've got in my best at the moment Reed. I think Murphy Reed's been our best player. And then Jai Amos has kicked 2. He's got to be in there. Luke Jackson's been very good all over the ground. I think Corey Wagner's delivery inside 50 has been fantastic, as well as Brandon Walker. And Pat Voss and Josh Tracy have looked very, very good aerially. So all our key forwards have looked very good to start. Our back line, definitely the shakiest line. I think the one guy I'd like to see pick it up a bit in this second half, Geordie Clark. I'm not sure if there's a bit of fatigue after Origin last week or if he didn't have a huge training week. I'm not sure what the reason is, but he certainly looks a little bit shaky with ball in hand, which is very un-Jordan Clark-like. Jackson has a mid. Well, Jackson hasn't played as a mid once yet this game. He has not started as a rover. So he's played majority ruck, floated forward a couple times, but he's essentially been a full-time ruck to begin this game. So we'll see how that evolves. as this goes on. But yeah, I've liked Luke Jackson's game so far. I've liked a few of our guys' games. McVee playing all right. Yep, I've liked Judd McVee. I think he's not been our best halfback. I think that's probably been Walker. But he's looked composed. Like, he's done nothing that's jumped off the page. But every time he's had the ball, which hasn't been a lot, he's sort of used it effectively. I've been looking at McVee for my fantasy team. But it doesn't seem like... I mean, I'm not going to base it off one half of match simulation. But it doesn't seem like he's going to be in that role where he's obtaining, like, heaps of the football. So... that's just a little note I've made. 1 Amos, 2 Jackson, 3 Reed for me. Sounds about right. Cannot argue with that. Playing some Jonathan Brown highlights at halftime here. Jonathan Brown was just a silly player. I only remember watching the back end of his career, but jeez. Brayshaw snub from Origins getting into him this game. In terms of what? Is that a good or a bad thing? Because I think Brayshaw's been quite good. I don't think his kicking's been amazing, but he's worked very hard defensively. Appreciate the feed, our West Coast supporter, who's looking top 3 for you. Oh, jeez. Harley Reid's been very good. That's probably a lazy thing to say, but Harley's been good. And it takes a lot for me to give Harley credit, because I don't like him. I mean, Willem Dersma kicked the first of the game. Been a bit quiet since. Dev Robertson's looked good. He's looked tough in the contest. Is it Harry Edwards? Harry Edwards has looked very strong defensively. That being said, our key forwards have sort of gotten off the chain in that second quarter. But then again, our backs look quite average in the first quarter because there's such a strong breeze. Who's been good? Josh Lindsay's made a couple good kicks, but again, he's sprayed a couple, so been a bit of a nearly game for him so far. Duff Titler, similar to Dersma, sort of kicked a goal early, but he's been fading in and out. West Coast have been mauled in the ruck so far by Cox and Jackson, so I wouldn't be putting the ruckman there. Elliot Yeo has looked very, very busy. Yeo's been playing a mix of probably 70-30 forward mid. Yeo's been very good. Tim Kelly had a good first quarter. Some of the older guys getting to work. But I'd probably say, yeah, Yeo's probably been your best player. Maybe Harley Reid second and Dev Robertson third. I feel like I'm missing someone. Am I missing anyone? I don't think so. I'm sort of basing it off the first quarter because, like, I couldn't pick many Fremantle players from that first quarter, given how difficult the conditions were to play him. I appreciate it. I'm sure that was hard. Well, I'm also trying to figure out the West Coast players on the run because you've got that many new players. I'm trying to figure out who on earth wears number 45 for West Coast. I mean, I've learnt Dev Robertson wears 40-something. I've already forgotten, but I know what he looks like now. Johnny Brown was tough. Would the real Reed please stand up? Yeah, Yo, Reed, Kelly. I'd probably say those. Cox better than Darcy. Well, I think we expect less from Mason Cox. Like, he's done nothing around the ground so far. Oh, he's Mason Cox highlights here for Collingwood. Oh, no, it's just Tom Mitchell getting 50 touches against him. Yeah, we expect less from Cox. So, yeah, he's been good in the ruck contest, but he just hasn't touched it around. I don't think he's had a single disposal, Cox. Maybe one. Whereas Darcy, you know, we know what he can do. And he's been impacting around the ground this preseason whenever he's played. So, you know. Also, I actually think Cox is nearly better suited to the ruck rules than Darcy. But again, Darcy has not looked bad with the ruck rules this preseason. So, you know. I think our rucks are going to be okay. Walker's been awesome, Gareth, yeah. McCarthy's been good, yeah. Tom McCarthy had a great... Was it him with the chase down tackle? No, it was Harley Reid with the chase down tackle on Young, I think. Maybe it was McCarthy. I don't know. McCarthy has looked good. Anyway, that's enough about West Coast. That being said, for any Eagles fans in the chat, I'm not into West Coast hatred mode yet this season, so... I mean, I'm kind of on that mode 365 days a year, but... You know, it's a match sim. I can take a bit of the emotion out of it. Freddie improved pressure and tackling the forward. Now that I think of it, Freddie's played, but I have not seen him. I have not seen Freddie. But yeah, hopefully he has a better second half. I actually didn't even realise, yeah. Better Eagles than Vicks. What else do we have? Reed's going to be our most important player. Murphy? I think he will be, yeah. Very well could end up being that. Yeah, Jager's been working hard. See, Jager's work goes so unloved. I think he's done a few really important things for us today. I'm a staunch Jager O'Meara fan. Don't any other hats. I've got a Ollie hat just in the other room. You absolute tosser. And I'll tell you what, the hair's looking a bit grim this morning, so I just got the nearest hat I could find, and that was sitting right here. I like to see Jack as a half forward. That way he can still push up the ground, still have some impact in the middle. Yeah. There are pros and cons about that. I absolutely get where you're coming from, and I would like to see him maybe trialed there. But I just feel like half forwards can fade in and out of the game. I trust Jackson's a good enough player where that wouldn't affect him, but I'd be cautious of that. I just want him involved in the game as much as possible. But I do see where you're coming from. Gee, Primetime Mitchell just was a gun, wasn't he? Far out. Hello, Bay Area Breakdown. Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus? I'm not sure how long to go until this second half gets underway, by the way. When did halftime drop? Let me just check. When did halftime happen? So I'm trying to figure out. It was about... I can't even figure it out. My YouTube's not letting me. Young for Brownlow, put a little 20 on it. Youngie's been good in the forward line. He hasn't kicked a goal yet, but I've enjoyed it. If Youngie drained them, both would be going for 3 votes in the preseason cup. Do we play extra time if it's a draw, by the way? Have we considered this? God, I hate that ad so much. What is Vanderpump Rules? Like, that just can't be a good show to watch. Not sure if anyone's watching the KO ads at the moment, but it just looks like the worst show of all time. How many Luke Jacksons does it take to Mason Cox or Sean Darcy? Let me analyse that again. How many Luke Jacksons does it take to Mason Cox or Sean Darcy? Get back to me with a further explanation. I'm so excited to see what him and Reed can do this year. I hate that ad. Yeah, I know. Also, her name's Vanderpump. Like, I'm really sorry if there's someone with the surname Vanderpump in this chat. But even if you've got that surname, you don't make a show out of it. Like, my last name is about 20 letters. I'm not making a... Like, genuinely, it's about 20 letters. I'm not making a show out of that. Just doesn't roll off the tongue, does it? Jackson needs to become a ruck. He then becomes a free midfielder. Coach can say stats show Darcy and Jackson win more games, but stats don't mean shite. What opponents? Freo beat Brizzy easy with Jackson ruck. I'm starting to buy more into that, I'll be honest. Sean Darcy's had a strong preseason, though, so I'm not going to just completely go against him. I want to see Sean play round 1, if possible, because the equivalent is playing Mason Cox. And I still think with Darcy in the team, Jackson will be our main ruck. And Darcy will play a similar role to Cox, except Darcy's just a better player. So, you know. Apologies for your surname. All good. Opinions on rivals. Tell you what. Could not tell you what that means. Just received word I've got a coffee for me in the kitchen, so I will grab that. Give me 2 seconds. Yes, please. Can you bleed on counter? The literal second I leave the room, the game gets back back underway. That is some generational timing if I've ever seen it. Let me just... Oh, we've had the first inside 50 against the Breeze. We might be back. Harley Reid taken high by Hayden Young. Is that a Port Adelaide shirt as you walk out the door? It is a Port Adelaide jumper. I can explain. My cousin played for Port Adelaide, and that is a premiership jumper that we got as a gift from 2004. So there you go. There are no Port Adelaide fans in this household, and there never have been. We rep the premiership jumper on the hallway. There's a reason I always have the door closed when I I film Freo Faithful videos. Handball away, Shea Bolton the tackle. Tracy's there. Jackson down to the deck. Matt Johnson around the corner. Bouncing. Tracy takes possession. Strong. Frederick's there. Sarong in and under. Ball up. Johnson inside 50s. Had a strong game so far. Jono. It's going to bounce all the way. Is the breeze reversed? No. West Coast clear it. And we've locked it in our forward half so far here. Johnson and Cripps contest. Big tackle. Jamie Cripps. Holding the ball. Are we joking? Yeah. Fair enough. Jamie Cripps doesn't realise. It's a rubbish call. McVie the spoil. Now with Clark. 2-on-1. Ball up. Don't give holding the ball. Umpire's taking the piss. How are we giving holding the ball for that? Handball over the top. Inside 50. Spoiled by Cox. And was that on the full? He hit his foot. Yeah, exactly, Aaron. Exactly right. I have liked the look of Amos too. I mean, he kicked a tough set shot against the Breeze, which was good to see in that first quarter. Luke Jackson, I'm not sure, he just fresh-aired the ball, Dogger. Sorry, that was Erasmus who tried to find McVie. Around the corner, West Coast get a goal. That's their first goal since the first quarter. And it is Harley Reid. The Eagles take a 6-point lead. So Mason Cocker's going to walk to the middle here. In the midfield, alongside him, Caleb Sarong, Shea Bolton, and Jagger O'Meara. Tom McCarthy and Harley Reid in there for West Coast, alongside Dev Robertson. O'Meara wins the clearance to Shea Bolton, who uses his left foot delightfully. Hayden Young pushing up off half forward, drops the chest mark he should have taken. And here is Dersma on the inside. Flynn, back to Dersma. That was really good by Willem Dersma. Out wide to Cripps. On the inside, Cox, the spoil. Waterman chasing. Wagner. Handball on the outside. Geordie Clark takes. Nearly went to Frederick, who's had limited opportunities today. Now O'Meara and now Michael Frederick. What can he do? There's an option on the inside, and Frederick sprayed that. Amos got a fist on it to make a contest, and it goes out of bounds. 70 in the chat. The preseason streams tend to do quite well for some odd reason. But appreciate everyone in here. Murphy Reid and Corey Wagner at the feet of Mason Cox here, as is Shea Bolton, who gets his hands on it. Now to Wagner. Tried to go over the top. Sarong's on the outside. Sarong ripped it off Robertson. Bolton, O'Meara goes on the inside, and it's intercepted by Tom Cole. Cole goes central. Oh my God. Duas dropped a sitter. Murphy Reid with some really good pressure. Jai Amos comes out of nowhere with the tackle. And it's going to be a ball up. Murphy Reid is holding his hand. Oh, Murphy Reid is hurt. Murphy Reid's hurt. I'm done. I'm done. No worries, Luke. Sorry, I'm actually just like, my heart's dropped out of my fucking stomach. Is he okay? Is that him there? Oh, he's okay. He's okay. He's still playing. He's alright. He's alright. Oh my god. That minute. Oh no, he's still holding his sort of wrist in. Oh! The kahuna out of nowhere. What a grab. And Voss takes the mark. Good link up there by the key forwards, and it'll be Paddy Voss to go back and tie the game up. Well, he still looks a bit sluggish. Pay back for the Andy Hammy joke. Well, you were joking. I'm not. He was actually hurt. Oh, jeez. And Paddy Voss slots it. We've got a tie game. That is Voss's second. Fremantle, 6-3-39. West Coast, 6-3-39. So glad to be back. Great coverage as usual. Love the channel. Thank you, Bree. Appreciate it. Good to have you back for the year. So Murphy Reid straight back in the midfield here. We are so back. So Cox loses a hit out to Flynn. Murphy Reid did well. And now back to Murphy Reid. Might be our leading ball getter today. Brayshaw out to Wagner, who's going to go from 45 against the breeze. In fact, the breeze looks like it might have gone because that floated quite normally. He's missed to the right. Fremantle have a 1-point lead. 40-39. Marek. High ball towards the wing. Pierce and Cox fly. Jesus. Mason Cox, big man, slow to get up. And it's going to be a free kick. Gee, he looks a bit sluggish, old Mason, getting up there. And he's got the free kick. Is he going to give the handball off to Bruce? No. We're going to see a Mason Cox kick. Cox sends it long. Towards the contest. Mark is taken by the kahuna. He is having a game. Can we just wrap the Coleman up already, please? Far out. Josh Tracy. What could the kahuna do here? From just beyond 50. Here we go. Tracy from 50 out. It's off to the right. And it's going to go not on the full. He'll be behind. Take a 2-point lead. And here's Marek. Now Kelly. JT All-Australian loading. Oh, bloody hope so. It'd be awesome. Down the line. Mason Cox trying to take it, but the more athletic number 35 gets there. Oh, it's Job Shanahan. Sorry. That's actually a bit disrespectful. Shanahan towards half forward. Warner nearly takes it. Waterman wrapped up. Ball up. McVeigh. Pearce fumbling. Got it though. Had a strong preseason, Alex Pearce, and that kick is brilliant. And what a mark by Shea Bolton. Quick handball to O'Meara, who's being chased down, but goes on the inside to Michael Frederick, who drops an absolute sitter. Frederick inside 50. Delightful delivery to Jai Amos. Tobin Murray's running over the top, but Amos will go back and attempt to slot goal number 3. Let's move the ball very quickly for the majority of this game. Oh, mate, you can keep banging on about Brandon Walker. He has looked awesome. Yep, no, absolutely. Even those 3 in a back line, I think, they can all coexist, I think. Amos goes back. He has struck that perfectly. No, he hasn't. Just off to the right. So 3 behinds, along with our goal this term. 42-39. I thought it was 42-40. Apologies. Long. Jackson made the contest. Pearce out the back. Handled by Reed to McCarthy. And Waterman, spoiled by Chapman, ends up with the number 46. Now to Jamie Cripps, who's running into an open goal. Walker chasing him, but Cripps slots it. And West Coast take the lead back by 4 points. It was Newton, that's who it was. Oh, Mr. Gravity. Looks like Jackson as a mid ain't happening. Yeah, I know. Maybe we just use him as an option. Maybe that's why he's been training there. Maybe the thought process might be that, like, Jackson's already an elite ruck and a near elite forward. If we can just give him the tools to become an elite midfielder and chuck him in there, you know, break glass in case of emergency, then I think that's sort of the thought process. But he's certainly playing as main ruck. Murphy Regis is a player, isn't he, Paddy? I'm not sure who's got the most touches for us today, but it might be him. It very well might be Barisi. 84 in chat, by the way, for a match simulation. Freo fans have turned out this morning. Thank you all. Jackson in the ruck here. Sarong, Erasmus, and Brayshaw in the midfield against Kelly, Yo, and Robertson. Brayshaw gets a soccer right into the face of Caleb Sarong. And that might be holding. Not given. Now, Robertson to Kelly. Sent long again inside 50 by West Coast to the contest. They haven't made the most of this breeze, have West Coast in this third quarter with just about 10 minutes to play. And that will go out of bounds. Loving the Wolfie Wednesdays logo. Nobody knows what that is. Wide. Tobin Murray's there. Mark's taken. Tobin Murray has sprayed that. Does end up with Jackson. Back to Murray. That was Amos, sorry. Murray has tried to find Frederick. It's a really good kick, actually. Michael Frederick trying to create some magic. I'm not sure what he's attempted there, Freddie. Forward. Good spoil by Carl Warner. And Walker getting back. Good take. Tracy Ugly Bog. Yeah, Tracy's been awesome. Caleb Sarong, mark on the inside. Playing quick corridor footy yet again. Freo, it's been a theme today. Sarong, Erasmus, and Hayden Young has taken that many marks inside 50 and yet to get any reward. And this will be a very tough shot given the conditions. How good's McVeigh been? It's been alright. Chad McVeigh's certainly not a player I'd be banging on about with his performance, but he's looked solid for his first hit out. Hayden Young, just on the 50 for his first goal of the game. He's had a lot of opportunity, and that sails through to give Freo the lead back. And I tell you what, we lead by 2, about, 8 minutes to go in this quarter. We'll have the breeze in the last. I think we're in the box seat to run away with the highest score in this game. 7-6-48 to 7-4-46. Oh, Walker's... Yeah, he's looked awesome, Ben. I think we've just all forgotten what he can bring to this team. I think that's on us. He never lost it. Now Jackson wrapped up and ball up. Here we go. Jackson fighting in the ruck. Hayden Young. He's not had a lot of midfield time today, but he's an X factor in there. Tried to find Brayshaw. Geordie Clark. Gee, it's been a very, very quiet day for Geordie Clark, and he gives away a free kick there on Harley Reid, who he's just done that to Geordie Clark. Okay, Harley. Absolutely, Ben. He's definitely a two-way player. There's Walker in the contest, winning. Erasmus over the top. Johnson nearly. Dersma has done very well. Handball. Cripps. And who's there? Taken by... Who's number 38? Is that Sam Allen? That's a guess. Who is number 38? It's on the West Coast Eagles website. I probably should have the numbers up here for West Coast. 38 is... Oh, Hamish Davis. Yeah, he was projected to go like top 15 a few years ago. And he dropped to about pick 60. I'm not sure what the reason was. But West Coast fans are quite bullish on him. That's a behind. Quite an easy set shot. 48-47. Tight game. Here in Coburn, Judd McVie on the kickouts. McVie taking it out. Sending it long. Tracy's there. Handball. Now Reid. Out. That's Sam Allen. And that's on the full. Is Sam Allen 28? Is that what I just saw? I've just turned off the West Coast website. And that's Tom Cole. What number's Sam Allen? Not Bo Allen. Is Ian? Ah, 12. Okay. Here's Matt Johnson, who's done a few good things. We are looking great by hand. I reckon we play 5 tools, frame mog the opposition. Jesus. If we are bringing frame mog into the Freo Faithful vocabulary for the year, then we're in trouble. Also, Paddy, I'm quite confident you were sitting a row in front of me for the Big Bash semi-final. With your mate just next to the sight screen. Could be wrong, but it looked like you. I mean, it looked like Murphy Reid, so I just put 2 and 2 together and thought it was you. Luke Jackson down the line. Long. Down by Tracy, Harley Reid, Cole. Now Shea Bolton. Handball towards Tracy. Should have gone to Bolton. Ambitiously tried to go to Erasmus. Cole. Over the top. Mark taken by Harley. He's going to go on the inside. 1-on-1. Carl Warner. Mark taken. And Brandon Walker defensively couldn't take the mark. He made a contest though, which is all you want. Chapman back to McVie. Jesus. Slap down. Nearly called him McPhee there. An 2011 Adam McPhee would have been a throwback. Down to the deck. Chasing it is Walker. Over to Bolton. Trying to scoop it all the way over. Walker's there. And that will be a ball up. Ball up again here. Jackson takes it out the ruck himself. Johnson was delivered a hospital handball by Jackson. Jackson, Brayshaw. Handball. Strong fend off by Harley Reid, but Murphy Reid got in there and showed him who the real Reid was. Kelly, back to Harley. Brayshaw was held by him, but somehow got a soccer away. Murphy Reid's the only guy who had the ball. Good pressure by Voss. Josh Tracy. Oh my God, the kahuna has just flattened number 5. Was it high? Are you allowed to get suspended in a match sim? Oh my God, Josh Tracy. I thought he got the body, I'll be honest. But that was a big hit. He lined him up from about 20 meters away. Jesus. Am I the only person who saw that? Fuck. Thoughts on the new rules, especially last touch? I'm a fan of last touch. I also like the new ruck rule. And we saw the shrug rule in operation in the first quarter, I think. And I liked it. So I quite like all the new rules so far. But you can probably judge them after 15 rounds in a season to see if the umpires are still using them and if it's made the entire competition better. That's what I thought, Ben. I mean, it was probably a bit late. And it was maybe front on. So that's maybe where the free kick came from. But I didn't think it was high. Like Pap said. We've got about a minute to play here in the third quarter. Fremantle by 1. We've got a boundary throw in the Eagles' forward pocket. Jackson to hit out. Wagner. Handball to Erasmus. Sent long. To a 1-on-1. Tracy nearly. Amos fumbles. A swinging arm into the stomach. Is that a suspension? Welcome to the league bump. Who did he get? Oh, was it Josh Lindsay? That's number 5, isn't it? Josh Tracy will retire without a premiership. Play the LeBron gif. Bolton. Geordie Clark. Wagner. Around the corner. Jackson drops it. Young. Oh, Hayden Young just says, thank you very much. I'll take that space. On to Shea Bolton, who takes a bounce. Might take a second. Doesn't. Bolton goes long. West Coast have the numbers. But the kahuna says, thank you very much. And it's beyond the siren here from Josh Tracy. Oh my God. This is to give us a 7-point lead. Looks a bit sore. The kahuna is just going full pelt here. Oh my God. He's been best on. I reckon. The kahuna's going to go back here. Tracy goes back from the angle and kicks another. How many has he got now? I'm unsure. But the Dockers, against the breeze, have taken a 7-point lead going into three-quarter time. Fremantle 8-6-54 to West Coast 7-5-47. And I'm enjoying this. It's been a good game so far. I've liked the brand that we're attempting to play. I like the experimental things. Hayden Young in the forward line, Murphy Reid in the midfield. Kahuna and Voss pushing very high. Good forward pressure by them. Jay Amos is covering a lot more ground. I think Amos, Kahuna, and Voss are all playing the same role that they did last year. But I just think Jay Amos is getting more involved, which is also making Tracy and Voss look better. And they're already brilliant footballers. So yeah, I like this start. I've liked this three quarters. I'm not sure what they've done to the score, but I thought it was 54-47. I'm not sure, Ben. Someone said on Shelter Footycast midweek that there'd be 7 periods, but I haven't read that anywhere. I think it was Mark Ruddings who said it. No, I think we're just going to do same old. Give everyone a full 4-quarter hit out. Chris Sherry might get involved here. He hasn't played yet. Nathan O'Driscoll hasn't played yet. So potentially Noddy or Sherry might get a run out, but we'll see. All right. I'm just gonna chuck up an update on the Instagram here. Just give me a quick second. Is it 7-5? No, we're 8-5, aren't we? Are we 8-6? It'll be 8-6, yeah. And Eagles would be 7-5-47. JT, Bruce, who else has been good? Walker, JT, Bruce. What are your thoughts so far on Amos? Liked Amos's game. He's getting way more involved. All right, we'll chuck that up. If you want a little summary, go check out the Instagram. Summary on the third quarter and on the game. Then they fixed that scoreboard, gave the Eagles an extra goal. Yeah, I know. Well, mate, that's why you watch Freo Faithful. We don't get the score wrong here. Is Waterman hurt? Hasn't had... Yeah, I don't think he's kicked a goal, Waterman. He's been quite off it. Update the scoreboard. 54-46. Is it 54-46? All right. Well, there you go. I'm just gonna double check any updates here on the Gonna check Twitter, see if there's any updates, anything that I've missed. Yeah, nothing, no injury sort of news here. Some blokes just tweeted out, I have more interest in counting cars at the drive-through coffee shop than I do in our preseason games. Very harsh, given, you know, how much do you really enjoy watching Fremantle play, if that's your take? All right, here we go. We've got 90 in the chat heading into this fourth quarter somehow. Let's try to get to... Can we bring up the ton for a match sim? That would be incredible. We're underway for the fourth term. Fremantle by 8. And it's Jackson straight out in the middle. Here's Caleb Sarong. He turns, goes inside 50, and taken by Jai Amos. What a game Nev's having. Caleb Sarong, who struggled with his kicking today, has delivered that perfectly to Amos on the lead. How much should I overreact? We're winning the flag. That's how much I'm overreacting. Just for fun, how do you think a forward line of Tracy Voss, Amos, Jackson, Darcy, and Cox would go? Shocking. I mean, maybe not too bad, because Tracy and Voss and Amos and Jackson are all quite good at ground level. But you wouldn't want to see it in action. Amos goes back. Is that his third? That is his third. Jai Amos. And the Dockers lead by 14. Our biggest lead of the game. 9-6-60 to 7-4-46. Here we go. Back in the middle. In the midfield is Caleb Strong, Andy Brayshaw, and Corey Wagner getting some on-ball minutes. Jackson was the hit out. Straight out to Tim Kelly. Strong's done well, though. And Andy Brayshaw was going to chase. Are we going to do what we did last year and just only play in fourth quarters? Murphy Reed goes wide, and we'll get a boundary throw in. Have they just let everyone into the ground, by the way? Like, I did think this was close to the public. They might have just opened the fence for this last quarter. No, they haven't. Maybe people are jumping the fence. I mean, I know family and friends are allowed in. But yeah. Here's Pierce. Clark's there. Good pressure. Dersma gets on the outside. Left boot. Warner fighting. McDonald. Good spoil. Carl Warner's going to be wrapped up. Yeah, okay. One of my good mates is counted in the family and friends of a West Coast player. And I think he's been granted access to the game. So it does make sense. It's both clubs. A lot of family and friends there, though. Jeez. I guess there are 36 players on the field. Bring on Mzungu. Yeah. I think when I think about how we're playing, I think the one thing we're missing is Tendai Mzungu. Jackson, Reed, forward towards a 1-on-1. Good spoil by the West Coast defender. Chasing it's Voss and Bolton and deliberate. The umpire's giving it deliberate straight away. Harsh, but thank you. I mean, it technically was deliberate. I think Scully's probably nailed it. Got to disguise it better. There's a guy on the sand hill with a strong face cut out. I did see that. That is quite good. Paddy Voss goes back here from about 55 on the tightest of angles. Patrick Voss has gone the helicopter, and it's nearly gone in. Is it behind? 61-46. Here's Kelly. Nearly taken. Now Walker over to Reed. Ends up with Warner. Reed. High. Thank you. What can Murphy Reed do here? I'm looking at you for my fantasy team, young Murph. Over the top by Reed. This camera work's not ideal. Voss flies at it. Erasmus chasing. Jackson nearly. Reed. Handball. Warner. The Cripps on the wing. Robertson to Harley Reid, who's been barreled over the line by Jordan Clark. Well done, Geordie. McDonald the handball. Now Walker. Brandon Walker. It's probably the first target he's missed all day. Intercepted by McCarthy. Oh, the score's just gone back to 47. I thought so. Fisted down by McDonald. Now Warner. Onto the left. O'Meara. Now it's Chapman. Sent long down the line by Chapman. And taken by Marek. Oh, they did give us a goal. Yeah, what the... Yeah, it is 46. Gee, this KO scoreboard is all over the shop. And Mason Cox has been paid the mark. Give it off to Carl Mason. I do not trust you to kick the football. Mason! What are you doing? How many times are we going to do that this season? Just yell at Mason Cox. God, that was a pretty Mason Cox thing to happen. Handball forward to McVie now. Judd McVie with the run to Bolton. This is exciting from Freo. Bolton pulls it back beautifully from Michael Frederick, who takes the mark inside 50. Freddie yet to kick a goal today. He's going to go back and attempt to extend the margin to 25 points. Is he? No, to 21 points. So. Probably someone in the ground claiming to be Sirong's cousins, dog walker's accountant. There's a kid in a West Coast jumper running along the grass hill. Get him out. Freddie's hit the post. 16-point margin now. $91 in the chat here. Appreciate you all. Handball at ground level. McCarthy. Under pressure from Johnson and Young. So a 1-on-1. Brandon Walker competing well with Harley Reid. Reid's got out the back, but you cannot outpace Brandon Walker. I know it's match sim, but Brandon Walker is a Brownlow lock. I don't even think he's on the sports bet markets at the moment, but he will be after this game. Now Sarong sending it long. Fisted down. Murphy Reid. Tapped over. McCarthy. Sarong's there. Sent inside 50. And now McDonald, who's looked very solid today. Oscar McDonald. Mason Cox with a big kick. Tracy wasn't expecting it to fall to him. The Kahuna breaks off somehow. Got a handball away, but straight to Elliot Yeo. And now it's out to Robertson. Inside 50 and Alex Pearce. Oh, the grab by Job Shanahan. Over Pearce. Bloody hell. Big Job. What's your final scoreboard prediction and Bog? I reckon we'll win 69-53. Best on ground, Josh Tracy, I think. Shanahan. Oh, that's... Oh, he's actually tried to use the breeze, but he's missed. Sent long. Cox is there. Mason Cox made a good contest. Mark not paid for Brock Kelly. So Tobin Murray's been out there, as has Judd McVie and Mason Cox. They're the only new guys. No Chris Sherry, despite him being in the squad. Also, Nathan O'Driscoll hasn't been seen yet. Here's Tom Colt. They've got us up by 20. Scoreboard inflation. Oh, mate, they've fixed it. Beautiful. And they've actually taken the scoreboard off now, so you can only tune into Freo Faithful to find out the score. Young, wrapped up on the wing. Got a ball up. About 15 minutes to go here in Coburn. And Cox and Duff Tyler on the ruck there. Johnson gets it out in the direction of Murphy Reid, who is going to pull it perfectly inside 50 to Patrick Voss. Murphy Reid is just my favourite player in the world. Oh my, he's just ridiculous. How often is it that a second-year player becomes your favourite player? Miss seeing Will Brody in this preseason game? Yeah. We really have lacked a bit of Will Brody today. So Patrick Voss is going to go back here. We're about 45 out. And kicks another. There's Big Vossy. I think that's his third. 3 for Voss, 3 for Amos, and I think 3 for Tracy. The Dockers have a 21-point lead. 68-47. Apparently Will Brody's training the house down. Good to hear. I'm happy for the Wiz. Free kick in the middle. Duff Tyler gives away a free kick to Mason Cox. Warner and Bolton both trying to overlap. Mason Cox has not given a handball off once. He's had that many kicks. Jackson's there. Falls out the back to Voss. And he bit off more than he could chew. Did Big Paddy. Here's Tom Cole. Mark taken. Ah, okay. Cooper Duff Tyler crossed the line. That's the first time we've seen that free kick given. So the new rules in action today. I also haven't seen the last touch free kick given, which is very interesting. And Job Shanahan takes the mark there. Duff Tyler pocketing Cox. Yeah, it's not. It's grim. Mason Cox out of Oklahoma State University. Yeah. I've got Will Burry in my fantasy team at the moment. I think he did reach his full potential at Freo, I'll be honest. I think people overestimate Will Burry's ceiling. Very one-dimensional midfielder. He was very good at what he did, but he wouldn't be getting a game for us, as we saw over the past 3 years. 50 out. Job Shanahan has looked very promising, and against the breeze, or it might have settled down a bit, because that looked pretty natural. Margins back to 15. Here we go. Back in the middle. About 11 minutes to go. Has Stevenson signed for Port? I thought he was training with them. I think the deadline is in 2 weeks for SSPs. Jackson in the middle. Beats Duff Tyler. Sarong. O'Meara. All the way back at halfback here. West Coast putting on some pressure. Warner. Handball over the top. Still got to hold this lead. Luke Jackson. Is that Cooper Duff Tyler again? I've never seen a ruckman look this ready at AFL level. Erasmus coming across. I do hate to say it, but I think West Coast have nailed this draft. Yeah, it probably should, eh? I think Stevenson will get a spot there. Sarong across to Warner. 10 minutes to play here. Fremantle by 15. Here's Chapman. Chapman's going to go forward. Taken by Mason Cox. Mason Cox is a footballer and a half. Oh my God. He's done that about 5 times today. That's going to go towards the boundary line. McVie can't get there. Out of bounds. How's Coxie been? Well, based off what I just said, probably you can guess. He's competed all right in the ruck. But it's been a Mason Cox game. It's been a Mason Cox preseason. He's trained the house down, and it's the first time I've seen him against opposition. I hope so. I hope Coxie comes out and kicks 5 at a prelim. Oh, who's down? There was a bad injury here, and what number was that? Who is that? Oh, this looks like ACL territory here. Oh, Noah Long. Fuck, not Longy. Noah Long's one of my favourite West Coast players. One of my good mates was his host family in his first year at West Coast. So I've had a big soft spot for Noah Long over the course of his career. That is awful to see. Damn. Is it knee? It looks knee. It looks bad. Fucking hell. That's gutting. Well, no matter who it is, it's always awful to see that. I mean, we're playing 25 minutes, no time on. So this game's going to be shortened down a bit. The West Coast players get around him. Indeed, Lockie. Have we brought up the ton yet for the viewers? Oh, we did hit 103 at one stage. Shout out. All right, we're at 103 now. Appreciate the support from the Freo community. Hopefully in for a big year here on Freo Faithful. Tim Gossage, there's one reason why Fremantle will win the premiership this year, Mason Cox. Were they his exact words? Because I've heard Goss speaking like that about Coxie. Have we sort of paraphrased that? Or are they like direct words out of Tim Gossage's mouth? For some reason, Hayden Young and Judd McVie are in stitches over something. As is Jamie Cripps. Why is everyone fucking laughing? Jeez. Here we go. Boundary throw in the Eagles forward 50. Dockers by 15. Jackson down. Hayden Young gets the handball away to Heath Chapman, who sends it long. He's had a solid game today, Chappie. Tracy makes the contest. Here's Chris Sherry. First look at the number 45. Sherry to Young, to Brayshaw, to O'Meara. Now Young. It's going long into the corridor. What a kick by Young to Erasmus. And the game has really opened up now. Erasmus to Geordie Clark from 60 out. Pokes it to the goal square. Couldn't be taken by Voss. There was just a bit too much juice on the kick from Clark. Didn't really pull it back enough to complement the breeze. That was brilliant footy, though. That kick from Young to Erasmus. I reckon Freo could push for a wild card. Yeah, hopefully we push for 15th this year. Jackson. Young. Tackle. Ball up. Tom McCarthy caught holding the ball. Hayden Young is going to have another shot at goal. He's yet to kick a goal. But he's had about 5 shots. Come on, Youngie. Yeah, tall forwards have been awesome, Ben. Awesome. Well, he's just going to play a role. old Coxie. He's never going to be a superstar. He's 35, something like that. He's our oldest player. But we need a guy like him with the loss of Liam Reedy. We've already seen no Sean Darcy. Dual wielder Gruck, extra bench spot. Hayden Young goes back and he's missed again. Come on, Youngie. When I compared Hayden Young to 2023 Nat Fyfe earlier, I didn't mean his goal kicking. And it looks like he's taken that in his stride. Youngie, I mean, that kick from Hayden Young earlier was just absurd. In front of goal, he's a bit shaky. He actually should have 5. Kieran Briggs kicked 4 the other day for the Giants. I guess anything's possible. Jackson, big grab. This man just keeps locking himself in my fantasy team the more I watch him. Long to a contest. The Kahuna, best on ground by the length of the Flemington, by the way. The Kahuna's been ridiculous. Deep, taken. Jai Amos is going to go back for goal number 4. What a game from Nev. Unbelievable. Go on, Jai. Go on. Jai Amos is going to go back here to extend the margin to 22 points with about 3 minutes to play. Jai Amos kicks goal number 4. This is bloody promising. Amos has been huge. 75 to 53. Amos easily the most overhated player at Freo Faithful. Yeah, who would not have him in their best 23? Oh, I'm going to live to regret that. Giants have a very, very good preseason. And I admitted I was wrong about 2 days after the video. Corey Wagner. Handball back. Geordie Clark now. Can we extend this margin? Dewar called for a hold on Chris Sherry. So Sherry going to pick up disposal number 2 here. A little pressure forward. 1-on-1. Tracy couldn't take a mark. He maybe should have taken. Frederick down to the deck. Gets it out. It's going to be a ball up. Freo don't own that. Ah, okay. Well, that's annoying. I'd love to put something where the sand is. But again, I don't own it either, so I can't really do anything about it. Free kick West Coast here against Wagner. Oh, he has kicked 1. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it'd be nice to have the AFL app up and working for this game, but... I believe Hef from the Keeper League podcast, who's a very good fella, has been doing the stats all weekend. I don't think he's doing the stats for this game, but I think a guy who used to work for Champion Data is. So we will get stats after this game. I'll put them up on Freo Faithful. So make sure you stay on top of the Instagram for the statistics. We'll have a 5 things we learned video out tomorrow. Druzy will be filming that straight after the game. So stay on top of the YouTube as well. And there'll be a player ratings out on Monday. So a couple new series coming out for the channel that will debut after this game. Tracy, big mull. He's just been absurdly good, Josh Tracy. My God. Yeah, Paddy, I'd say that'd be a smart investment. Oh, what a handball by Bolton to Brayshaw. Do we have time for one more? Murphy Reed running onto it. Clean pickup. He's going to bend around onto the inside. Reed tries to go to O'Meara over the top of everyone. Handball out by Shanahan, who got back. Sherry showing his pressure. Good pressure by Chris Sherry. He was a bit light, Switkowski. Here's Warner. Short kick by Warner to Wagner. We might not beat the siren here because siren usually goes at about 24.50. Wagner inside 50. The Kahuna. Not given. Back. Siren will go any second here unless we put time on because of the injury. Okay. I think we've put time on because of the injury. Okay, so we're going to play a couple more minutes. We're going to play till about the 27-minute mark, I reckon. Sent long. Mark nearly taken. Clark. Jono. McDonald. Jono. O'Meara. Coughed up to McCarthy. Inside 50 here. Mark nearly taken. Chappie's been very good in the back line today. Walker to Sarong. What can Sarong do? Ooh, under pressure. Goes to Andy Brayshaw. Quick handball to Carl Warner. Warner to Erasmus. Give it to Bruce. Give it to Bruce. Reed to Bolton. Beautifully done. And can we get a 12th goal of the game and extend it out to 28 points? You get AFLW against Coburn. Yeah, if we can get someone on that hill, plus the grandstands that are now there, which are awesome, it'd be great. Because Freo Oval is the most uncomfortable place. I didn't go to a single AFLW game last season. Not because I don't like the football. Because Fremantle Oval is just so uncomfortable. It's just an awful venue nowadays. I wish they redeveloped that. Bolton from 50. Strikes it well. Shea Bolton kicks his first goal. It's been quite a day for him. Fremantle go up 12-9-81 to West Coast 8-5-53. A dominant second half for the Dockers. It's going to lead us to the dub. I think the siren's going to go any second here. Yeah, make it like Claremont Oval. I'm not sure if we're even going to get another centre bounce before the siren. But it's going to be Cox, Johnson, Sarong, and Bolton in the middle here. Erasmus on one wing. And there's someone else on the other. Before the game ends, just want to say thanks for the stream. Awesome as always, legends. Surprised not down there watching. It's closed to the general public. It's only players, family, and friends allowed in. But I appreciate it, mate. I'd absolutely be there if I could. Sarong sent long inside 50. Do we have time for another? Sherry chasing, but that will be the game. A 28-point win in our first preseason hit out. It was a tied game at halftime before a strong second half got us over the line by nearly 5 goals. 12-9-81 Fremantle to West Coast 8-5-53. Josh Tracy best on ground for mine. He kicked 3. Jai Amos kicked 4. Voss kicked 3. And then Murphy Reed, I reckon, was nearly our leading ball getter. Was awesome. Heath Chapman and Brandon Walker very strong out of the back line. Caleb Strong and Andy Brayshaw, both hard workers. And Jackson and Cox gave us some good signs in the ruck. As I just mentioned, tomorrow, Druzy will have a 5 things we learnt out on this game, a new series on the channel. And on Monday, I will have the player ratings, which is another new series where I will rate every player from this game. Stay on top of all the content throughout the week on YouTube and Instagram. We'll have another podcast out next week reviewing the game and talking about the Adelaide game next week. Just stay on top of everything across all the socials. Thank you all for watching. Over 100 in this stream. Great to see that we're hopefully in for a big year here on Freo Faithful. And yeah, thank you all for being a part of it. Murphy Reed did spend a fair bit of time in the middle. And yeah, some quick ball movement as well. Speedy recovery as well, hopefully, for Noah Long. I don't know if it will be speedy, because that looked like a pretty bad leg injury. An ACL, I'd suspect. But yeah, horrible to see for Longy. But yeah, 28-point winners, the Dockers, 12-9-81 to West Coast, 8-5-53. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.